Okay, so the first kick we are going to learn is the front kick, which comes up this way and straight out that way. Okay, comes out this way and straight out that way. You can also kick this way without bending the knee, and this way. And you can dunk front foot or back foot, and you can dunk inside. Both for kicks and hands and elbows and knees. Well, for kicks and hands, okay. In Jackando, we use 80% of the strikes with the forward hand and the forward foot because this is closer to the target, and maybe 20% with the back. No general rule, but there is a rule, depending upon in either side. Okay. So in the knees, this is different with close in combat, and you can actually use it from the back. It's very close, okay, compared to how far the knees and the hands are in relating to distance. So as now we progress further into showing you more of the techniques, the side kick is done this way and you come out this way, okay? You can use the ball of the foot, the way I do, or the proper way is instep, here, instep, or the heel. For the side kick, the front kick is the ball of the foot. Okay, the roundhouse comes out this way. Okay, here. Okay, comes here, bang. Okay, and you can use, you can use this part of the foot here, or you can use the shin, depending upon the distance again. In the same manner, the knee comes that way. That's why I'm using the knee. This time it's a shorter distance anyway. Okay, and you can use it either side. Okay, so the crescent kick will cover around this way, and you can also do it the opposite way here. So is the hook. Hook kicks come out this way. Okay, will come around this way. Okay, so the crescent will come out this way. Okay, okay, the roundhouse coming up this way. Okay, the front kick this way. Side kick coming up this way, okay? Okay. Alright, so you can hit it low, you can hit it medium, you can hit it high, or any place where the opening is in any type of kick, okay? So there's also what we do is a spinning kick. For example, you may block here, spin, look, and side kick, okay? At that line, low, medium, high, wherever the opening is. On the other side, with spin, okay, and strike. Basically, same principle, same thing can apply if the opening is elsewhere. You're not straight at the person, you may block, come around, come up, and hook. Okay, block, come around, and hook. Okay, so you may use a combination. For example, you may hit this one, come here, and use a crescent. The difference between the crescent and the hook is that the crescent will hit you here, the hook can hit you with the ball of the foot here. The crescent is with the side of the foot. Depends on the target area. Okay, work it out. Okay, so from there you can also spin, come up, and oblique, boom. So you go from the side in here, he's got his hand come inside and get to the chin. Okay, so you may spin, hands there, you can't get with a crescent or hook, so you may just oblique it from an angle. Okay, so then the same is there's also right form spinning. So this comes up and straightforward, so you must just come straight to the front punch, kick, sorry. Come this way, come up, you might just come up with a front punch. Okay, so these openings can be anywhere from the low line to the head, okay, to the middle body, to the chest, wherever the openings is. Okay, or wherever you create the openings. Creating an opening will be talked in the next upcoming videos, whichever one that will be. Keep practicing. God be with you and have faith in God. Okay, greetings. So we're going to talk about our defence in the self-defence department, our defence, that is, our defence. So we've got another way of doing things in my art that I have kind of like combined many arts together to form the following, as I'll explain more detail later on. The first thing is we do the blocks of the Wing Chun method in Kung Fu. And for example, we're in this position, while you're moving around in combat, because combat's movable and you're moving your hands like this, fighting, whatever you're doing, okay, got your hands here. I'll pause it a little bit so you can see the blocks. The first block is this one here. It can be done on either side. And the next block is here and here, done with both hands. This can stop the feet or the hands. Up here, for the hands in the upper line, lower line, and also kicks. In the Wing Chun method, we've got blocks coming up this way to stop an attack this way, and this way on the other hand. Okay? We've got attacks coming this way, this way, this way, this way, this way, and this way. Okay? And these are usually blocks coming around here, facing the technique. Okay? Coming here. Okay, so this will be here, this will be here, this will be combined. This will be here, this will be here, combined, and the other end. Okay? So, in the Jeet Kune Do principle, we've got parries. The difference between blocks and parries are not the same thing. It's not the same thing. It's not the same thing. Parries are different. Blocks means you block the defense. In Wing Chun, we'll face it. So now I'm showing the full movement. Before it was half, now it's the full movement. We face the technique, okay? Because this is where, if a punch is coming this way, okay, it's very hard to come this way in the attack here than to move the arm this way. Okay, you can understand what I'm talking about, okay? So we face all the blocks are faced, okay? Here, we face the blocks. Okay, face the blocks. In Jeet Kune Do, we are not blocking, or you can block if you want in Jeet Kune Do, but what they use mostly in the original art is parrying. Okay, parrying means to deflect the technique. For example, you will see that a lot in boxing. You're in a position of Jeet Kune Do like this, for example, and you may parry it this way. So you just hit it, the punch comes this way, and you just deflect it. Deflect it. Deflect it, deflect it, deflect it, deflect it. You use either hand, although the common rule in Jeet Kune Do, there's no rules, but for argument's sake, the common rule applies to that the back hand, okay, does 80% of the blocking, in most cases, or a general rule. There's no rules, but that's the general rule. The forward hand does 20% of the parrying, I should say, not the blocking, okay? So on the reverse, it'll be here, okay, here. Okay, so you would deflect it. Okay, so that's in Jeet Kune Do. And I'll show you how you fit this in to combine everything together in the following coming videos. Anyway, in boxing or kickboxing or Muay Thai boxing, you will see them do things like this. They will block it here, here, they'll block it here, block it here, come in the low line from this side like this, and block that way. That's your boxing blocks. So, many arts, including the Jeet Kune Do principle and the Wing Chun method, you would say, how do you block on the bottom line? Do we go down? No, because you've got to be in good posture. You use your feet, block this way or that way, okay? You can use a side kick to block, or you can use a heel and a front kick to stop a hit on the attack. Okay? In maintain boxing, you can use it this way. Okay? And you stop the attack that way. Okay? You can block here with the knee on this part of the leg. Okay? Yeah. So there's some of them. In my method, you will do exactly the same thing. You can do principle of the feet block, except you will block strike. Okay, so the kick comes to you, you block strike in the purpose of breaking the kneecap. Simple as that. Unless you cannot do that. In other words, the law of the land says that you can only use violence against an aggressor that has attacked you in accordance to what is needed, not more than that. So for example, if your life is in a situation where you're going to lose your life, well, you might have to break the kneecap. But if not, then you might just have to block. You know, for example, if he's carrying a knife and he goes to kick you or something, you might have to break the kneecap and walk away. But if he has got a weapon, for example, and he goes for a kick, you may not be able to break his kneecap because you'll be using more force than what's required. In most countries in the free world, that's the law. Okay? So you can only use force as much as that is required. That way you will not be taken to court and be found guilty. You may be taken to court, but if there's proof there, you'll be okay. So it's your choice. Okay? So there are the block strikes. Okay? So you may be moving your hands like this in combat. Someone comes in, bang, boom, and come in with other attacks. Okay? So they're your blocks and your parries. Another method we use is moving out the way of the attack. Someone comes in attack, we move to the side, or back, or forward, or whatever angle will get us out of trouble. Not too far out, not too close. We are too close, we can get hit. We are too far away, okay, we'll go all the way back in here to make an attack. Meanwhile, your opponent can make more attacks, and your life could be more in danger. So you want to do the job over and done with. Less force or more force, depending on what you have to do. You have to move just enough and back straight so you're close to the target and you can make an attack and knock them out, for example. One good defense is boxing. In the subject of rules, there are no rules in fighting because no one's gonna. It's not the ring. But what Bruce Lee means by that is not what people think. He's using the Asian translation. He means there are no rules in his opinion because you're either going to be judged by 12 in a jury or carried out in a box. Which way do you prefer? So he will not go for rules. But in reality, he doesn't mean there aren't any rules, because there are rules, both before, during and after. Not necessarily in a fight, other than the law. The law, there are rules in the fight. If you use more violence than what's required, you're in trouble. This is why a lot of countries in the police academy, they know this, even the police can be charged against an evil person who has attacked, we're talking about, who's the aggressor. If he's bruised you and they've hurt him really bad, the police can be charged, and anyone can be charged. You can only bruise them if they bruised you, for example. Okay? So, by having said this is why the police academy and a lot of us use a lot of defense force in the world, in the free countries where there's the police academy. The choice of combat training is things like judo or Brazilian jiu-jitsu, because you can pin them to the ground and that's it. You handcuff them and they take them down. Then they've got their baton. Basically means that if there's more force, like medium amount or whatever, they used to use a fair force, they can use the baton. If it's a lot of force that they have to use, for example, the opponent's got a gun, they will use their gun. That's why they're very well trained. So is then, if there's a riot, a big, massive riot, there's too many of them compared to how many police there are, they will use a whole body shield and armor and guns and that. Okay? So, there's laws behind even protecting the criminals. Anyway, so by having said this, these are your defense. Okay, so you may move around, change around, your hands like this, come this way, and a person comes in and you may block. From there, you go with a strike. okay? And you may block this way, or you may dodge out the way, come in this way, move out that way, and then you come in for an attack. Defense and attack. This is your defense. What I talked about in the previous video as your guard up is only up when you are ready and when you can rig it up. Otherwise, it will be from here, like I said in the previous video, or from wherever you're standing. But if you have enough time to put your guard up, yeah, a lot of times it can happen that the aggressor is approaching from a distance with a weapon or something. He's coming like this, and you see him, he's coming towards you. It's kind of sense that he's going to attack you, or he's going to attack someone, and it's coming to you, so it's most likely you, so you've got time to put your guard up. In this case, yes, it's more effective to put your guard up, and of course you can change your guard around the way I've shown you. Thank you for listening, and practice hard, and God be with each and every one of you. Okay, so now we go into the elbows. There's the hook, just like the upper, just like the hook comes this way, it comes that way. You can do it like this sometimes, but there's more power here. Okay, it comes like that, comes like this, and like this. Okay, then it comes up, down this way, no, down this way. Comes here, it comes here. Okay, and of course there's a spinning hook. Going back to punches, there's also the crescent punch. Okay, there's also the back fist. Okay, into temple. Okay, okay, here. Okay, these. The spinning crescent and the spinning back fist. Okay, so you might block this way, turn and smack. You may block this way, turn and smack. So is the crescent. You may block, come up this way. Okay, you may block, come up this way. Okay, so is a spinning elbow. You might block, for example, and come down this way. Block and go this way. Okay? So is it, there's also the knees, which is the front knee coming this way. Okay, coming this way. Then there's the roundhouse. Okay, coming this way, the round kick or the side, whatever you call it. Name's not important, but anyway. That's yeah. The angle, and then is the side coming this way, okay, coming in this way, okay? Okay, there's also the knee coming this way, and the knee coming that way. There's a knee coming this way, and the knee coming that way. Okay? Go back to practice. Okay, so I stress the point that as an instructor, to teach others is not about fighting now, because we're not in combat now, we are teaching now. If you were in combat, you would have to speed up enormously great. The more faster you are, the more success you have in combat. But for teaching purposes here on the video, I need to slow down for the camera so the students will see it better. When it's slow, a beginner may not be able to see a fast move. So as I'm showing you slowly, gradually, you will practice that slowly first and gradually increase the speed. So in your practice, you will start slowly and gradually increase the speed. So in combat region, you will obviously go fast. By saying this subject is about fakes and combinations. Before we begin that subject, there are two things to take note. Every forward technique, like the front kick, or the front punch, or the front elbow, or the front knee, can outbeat just about that can beat any technique. If a technique from the opponent is coming at you this way, straight, you just move to the side and use one of these techniques, depending upon the distance that you are, close or far from the opponent, and depending upon what techniques the opponent has used. Okay. So by saying this, going back to the facing combinations, combinations can be used as combinations, obviously, but the same combinations can be used, you know, a fake with a strike, for example, or two fakes and a strike. I wouldn't do more than 3 fakes per strike. Okay. So, for example, because it's a forward attack, the front kick is very good to use, very deceptive and very good to use. Okay. So you may do one combination like this. Okay. You may go one combination, so you strike fast, not slow, but fast to the opening if the opening was there. Another one if the opening is there, fast and hit hard in combinations, combination not fakes. Okay, and then you may kick to the head where the next opening is. So there are 3 combinations there. On the other side, okay, you may come here, stomach, it's 1 opening, 2 and 3 to the head. Same combinations you can apply with 2 fakes, for example, and 1 make straight. But this time, the 2 fakes have to be not slow, but a lot slower than the major attack. Because if I go fast, okay, if I go fast, okay, you gotta see, you're just gonna respond to that. Okay, it's like if I go fast to a fake, okay, it's very hard to, it's very complicated. Okay, how can I explain this? Let me see. If I go fast to a fake, fast, then you are going to expect me to kick you in the head as well as in the body, because I'm going fast, fast, fast. Okay? So in order for that to happen, you go a little bit slower, okay, enough slow in the stomach to drop their guard down. So they expect the first 2 kicks. The third one they will expect to go into the stomach, because you're forming a pattern here. But instead of going into the stomach, you come up to the head. Okay, I've lost my balance there. Okay, so you may go 1, okay, 2 as a fake. Fake means not to hit the opponent, just pretend to do so. They come up straight into the head. Okay, so repeat that from the other side. You might just fake, just up, okay, fake, and then come up. Okay, so is it, the front kick is a good way to use it for any attack. For example, you may fake, then this time the opening was at the head. So you, on this side, instead of that side, so you strike this side. So the other side you may be, okay, faking, and striking. Same common sense can be applied to combinations. You can go bang hard, really fast, and strike again, and strike again, okay? You can strike, okay, strike, and strike again, okay? So, there are other combinations and fakes that will be talked about in the next upcoming lessons. Okay, talking about more on fakes and combinations. So the next one is that with the crescent strike coming up this way, you are hitting with this side across the face. But this time it's got this guard up here, so you can't get the foot here. So you may use an oblique kick which comes from an angle this way. It's an exaggeration version, so you can see it. Okay, this way, okay, comes this way rather than forward. It's called an oblique kick. So what you do, you may or strike, you can use combination. If it's a fake, it will be a fake or strike, and it's a fake or combination. And the real attack will come up on the side here. So you may fake or strike, whether you're using a combination or a strike, and then strike the side. You also move it to the side. Okay? So there's another one on this variation, and that is the hook. So you can come, the same thing can take place here. So you're always allowing your person to put the guard around the stomach, because you're always going to think you're hitting the stomach or you're actually hitting the stomach. So you can't guess now whether you're going to hit him in the stomach or not. So the final attack will be a hook coming up this way, okay? So you may go bang, same thing as before, bang, come up this way, okay? So a variation of the oblique, okay? So is then, for example, a roundhouse kick can be, any kick can be used for the lead, okay? For example, you can use a roundhouse kick coming this way. As he puts his guard in, you come up this way. So the first kick can be used as a combination, or it can be used as a fake. And you can do it one time this way, one time that way, and keep on mixing these up. And he won't know whether you're using a combination or fakes. Okay? So you may come this way, come around, bang this way. Okay? Okay, so you may come this way, move around, okay, and this way, okay? So the same common sense applies to other fakes in kicking, okay? So more of that in a moment. So is then another way of doing that is you may use a front kick, and that could be combinations, both of them, to strike or fakes to pretend to strike. And this time the opening is not on the sides, it's in front here. I've got to go this way, for example. So you've got to come forward to do a front kick, another front kick. Same thing on the back, you may use the 1, 2, and then straight up. Okay? So is then in the spinning kicks, continuing from the previous video, okay, you may use an oblique instead. For example, you may come down this way, put some spins, bang, okay? Okay, I've gone this way, put some moves there, and on, bang, okay? Okay, so is then, there's also the crescent, okay? So for example, you may come this way, and spin, and come up, and this way. So both the combination of fakes can be used this way, and spin, look at the target, and strike. So you will do that slowly at first, and gradually increase the speed, but you've got to be fast in combat. As I repeat, for the video's sake now, so you can see what I'm doing, I'm going slow. In actual combat, I would train for speed on my own time, and in actual combat I would perform to my fastest. So that these kicks can be used with the low line, the centre, and the middle, mix them up, and try and warm up an zone. Okay, we'll talk more about this in a moment. There can be also hand fakes and hand combinations. There can be elbow, there can be a combination of both hands and legs in any order, hands or legs, or knees or elbows, mix them up in any way you want, both in the fakes and the combinations. We'll talk more about this in a moment. Greetings, thank you for viewing this. This is a self-defense course and it's a new art. It's taken from many arts. I've studied 3/4 of my life in martial arts, self-defense, you name it. from about 5 years old to about now I'm 53. This art was originally called The Art of the Unknown God, yet the name changed to Universal Defending, and now it's changed to The Art of a Human Being. All three names are relevant to this art, but anyway, at the moment it's called The Art of a Human Being. Stay tuned when I take you to a journey. Many arts in the martial arts, in the Europe ways of life, in America, and all ways to the world. In many researches I've came across with this art. I'm the founder of that art, and my name is Themis Koutras. There's a lot of techniques borrowed from other arts though. Stay tuned and have a look. Hello, the following picture diagrams are picture reading in self-defense drawings. I want you to have a look. There's no writings, there's no volume, it's just silent film in slideshow. I want you to view the pictures carefully as long as you want. Pause it if you have to. At the end of the film, they'll be given a link to my Facebook site where it's got the same pictures, and next to it they have writings. I want you to view it again and read the information. It's important to view the pictures over and over again. First in the video here, and then later when you view it on Facebook, to also read the information over and over. And of course, many years of practice. Stay tuned, and God be with you all. Hello, it's very important that you pay attention here now. Here's the web address over here. Okay, copy that and paste it in your browser. Okay, so you will need to view the pictures again and read on the side of the right side of the pictures instructions of what to do there. By viewing the pictures over and over again and simultaneously reading the information also will help you a lot progress, especially if you practice it. You should practice the techniques there. View it carefully and you will come to understand exactly how it works. Thank you for watching. God be with each and every one of you. Bless you and take care.